Hello and good day, meteorologist Mike Adcock here. It's the 29th of March and we're tracking Typhoon Maysak as it passes through Chuuk State. Looking at satellite imagery this evening, the bulk of the convection now moving out of Chuuk, so improving conditions there. With this system, we aren't seeing the intensification that we saw on Saturday. Still a typhoon nonetheless, and the future of this system looks favorable toward development. Looking at the outflow of this system along the periphery, you do see just the enhanced outflow all the way around the system. So once it does start to strengthen, really not a whole lot keeping it or governing it from intensifying. Starting to see a little bit of clearing there on those last frames on satellite imagery. We did pick up a eye feature on microwave imagery, so we should see that eye clear up overnight. And based on the Dvorak analyses, at 9 Zulu was T 4.5, which would be about 75 knots on a 1 minute average. We should see that really start to intensify. Latest information, though, out of JMA as of 7 p.m. Chuuk time, the center of circulation 150 kilometers west of Wino, or 175 kilometers northeast of Palawat, both in Chuuk State. The system is moving west at 19 kilometers per hour. Winds are holding steady at 130 kilometers per hour with gusts up to 185, and our pressure at 970 hectopascal. Do have several watches and warnings that have been issued by the National Weather Service in Guam. Highlighted there in red, I'll point out, are our typhoon warnings. Chuuk remains in a typhoon warning. Should see that being downgraded here shortly. And then Ulul and Faralip there in the Caroline Islands, also under a typhoon warning. And then several locations there highlighted in blue in tropical storm warnings. And then in pink are your typhoon watches. Have typhoon watches extending as far west as Yap as of this evening. Continue to monitor the National Weather Service in Guam, as they'll be likely upgrading and downgrading warnings over the next few days. Okay, so broadening out into the big picture here, we do have Maysak there off to the bottom of the picture there near Chuuk. Strong area of high pressure off to the north. This system is moving, or this high is moving off to the east in advance of area of low pressure, some troughing that's moving through China. Now, this is going to be the key player for the long-term forecast. And now this is really talking about the end of the week, Friday, Saturday time frame. But the question is, how much does this high move eastward, and how strong and how far south does this trough move to help influence the typhoon? Now, there will be some sort of latitude gain. I don't anticipate this going to remain south and affect Mindanao by any means, but this should. So right now, looking at more of a Luzon or Visayas threat. Not saying a landfall quite at this time, because there is enough uncertainty in the forecast, just given with all the variables that are moving with this system. Now, looking at the official JMA forecast track over the next 5 days, they do bring it out to the western portion of the Philippine Sea. Now, the near-term forecast is continued intensification. Matter of fact, this system is expected to top out in and around Yap or just north of Palau before it starts weakening again. That's, combination of factors there. Part of that's going to be the cooler waters that are prevalent in the Philippine Sea, shear associated with that trough. But the bottom line is, this is getting pretty close to the Philippines. So definitely for those there in the eastern Visayas, eastern Luzon, definitely monitor the progress of this system. Still have a few days out, but now is the time to at least be prepared and keep an eye out for the progress of this system. JTWC starts to indicate a little bit more north, so indicating more of a recurvature. That doesn't preclude the Visayas or Luzon, though. So again, the bottom line is, be prepared, keep an eye on this system. There is several days. The tracks can change as we get more and more information. Amazingly, though, all the agencies are pretty much in agreement with this system, showing that northward gain toward the end of the forecast period. Again, just exactly where it goes in. That's really what we're going to have to monitor. I do feel pretty confident that the high pressure will hold up enough to affect the Philippines in some way. Now, is it as a tropical storm or what? You know, again, so many variables with this system and plenty of time out there. So we'll continue to monitor. The model guidance, though, kind of all over the place in terms of what the end state is. I think this red line here, the COTC, I don't think that's going to be a valid forecast. The rest of them do show northward gains there. I think that's going to be more your answer. That's going to be more toward 3 days out. Once it gets into the Philippine area of responsibility, then we're going to see that northward push. In terms of intensification, again, the model's all over the place. I think JMA and JTWC have a pretty good handle on it. Intensification in the near term. Once you get to about 3 days out, then it should start weakening as it gets across the Philippine Sea. Not a whole lot to look at this evening in terms of surface weather plots. The METARs out of Chuuk no longer coming in. The last one was from 6 Zulu. Some interesting points, so I do want to pass on from 0Z to 6Z this morning. So that's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. local time. Chuuk International picked up 166 millimeters of rain. That's about 6.5 inches of rainfall. Now, the preceding day, so since Saturday morning through this morning, they picked up 61 millimeters of rain, so about 2.4 inches. So over the weekend, over that 30-hour span, Chuuk picked up 227 millimeters of rainfall, which is just shy of 9 inches of rainfall. So significant rains there in Micronesia. Start to get more information as the next day or two goes on. Again, we're going to keep an eye on this system. You can do the same following this as well as other analysis at westernpacificweather.com. You can also follow along on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day and take care.